All right, here's number 16 from the quiz. If possible, find the sum of the infinite geometric, sorry that got cut off there, but it should say geometric series. Write none if not possible. So if it converges, which means closer and closer to zero, it will have a sum. And if it diverges, it won't, right? So that kind of makes sense. Like if it's getting bigger and bigger and you have infinite terms, then you don't have a sum. But this one, we're lucky, is actually getting closer and closer to zero. These fractions get smaller and smaller and smaller. And so eventually you're going to be basically adding zero. And so you can find the sum of this. All right, and so the formula, let's go to our formula sheet. We have finding the sum, and it's infinite geometric. So sorry it wasn't on there originally, but here's our geometric column, and it's infinite. So we just do a1 over 1 minus r. Right, and a little bit of tricky fraction work on this. So a1 is right here, okay? And then r is what we multiply by each time. So that's kind of tricky, but we got to think we have 1/3 times some fraction to give us 1/15. So hopefully we can figure out that the fraction we would need here would just be a 1 on top and 5 on the bottom. Right, and we can verify that if we check the next one. If we take 1/15 times 1/5, that'll give us 1/75. Okay, so that's basically r is 1/5. All right, and here's a1. So our formula again is a1, 1 minus r. So plugging in here, we have a1 is 1/3. That's our first term. And then we do 1 minus 1/5. Okay, and you could type all this in a calculator, but with fractions it gets a little bit messy. So I want to do a fraction work here a little bit. So the denominator, if you have one whole pizza and you eat 1/5 of it, you have 4/5 of a pizza left. Okay, and now I have to do 1/3, and this middle fraction bar is divide, so I'm going to rewrite it as 1/3 divided by 4/5. And then when you divide two fractions, you just multiply by the reciprocal of the second fraction, so change it to 5/4. And now multiply the numerators, 1 times 5, and the denominators, 3 times 4. So our answer, sorry that didn't come out very clean there, is 5/12. Right, so that's the sum. Not very big, but if you look at these fractions, they're also not very big. So summing them up, we don't get a very big number. It's just 5/12. Okay, hopefully that helps.